So see, in our last class, we were discussing this shloka. So let's see. Harer Nama, Harer Namev Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyatha. Just always chant Hare Krishna. Never mind whether you are. Just a second. Never mind whether you are in a factory or in a hell, in a shack or in a skyscraper. It doesn't matter. So from this, what are you getting? That one can chant this great Hare Krishna Mahamantra anywhere, in any condition. There are no any rules to be followed. You can chant in any condition. There are no rules for chanting this great Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So see the greatness of this mantra. I was just thinking about this thing only today in afternoon class also, Hindi class, we discussed this thing. That suppose what if there were so many rules of chanting this mantra? You see now the greatness of this mantra, we can chant it anywhere. You can't sing other mantras like this mantra, is it not? We can sing this mantra even we are, going somewhere, or if we are doing any of our house chores, whatever we are doing, we can easily sing this mantra, we can chant, we can hear kirtan of this mantra, but we can't do same thing with other mantras. Whatever mantras you might be doing before also, I don't think so any devotee might be chanting any mantra before. But see, the greatness of this mantra, you can chant it anyway. Even if you are in bathroom, you are taking shower, then also you can chant. No problem. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was telling this thing, that when one take bath, so yes, he is cleansing his body with water. But one should also chant this great mantra. Why? Because it cleanses our heart. This mantra is for our soul. So one should definitely chant even while taking shower. Never miss any time. You just keep doing something related to Krishna in some way or other. This is just amazing thing. Just go on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no expense. Sumit Prabhuji, you just check your bank account, any amount deducted from your bank account since you are chanting this mantra. No, there is no expense. There is no impediment. There is no caste. There is no creed. There is no color. Anyone can do it. Just chant and hear. So, see, when it's written here, there is no caste. So, this is also very much important point one should understand. That this mantra is not for Hindu people. People, they have false assumptions that Krishna is Hindu god. But it's not like that at all. Our constitutional state is we are fragmental part of God. What does that mean? That we are souls. And soul is neither Hindu, nor Muslim, nor Christian, nothing. These are just, false identifications. What we call upadhi in Hindi. So, soul is not Hindu or Muslim or whatever. Same way, God is also not Hindu or Muslim or Christian. So there is no caste. Krishna is not Hindu God. Krishna is Supreme Personality, means he is God of every living being. No matter what caste, what color, what creed, whatever. Living being is assuming whatever he's assuming, that I am of this caste, I am of this color. He's identifying, he's saying all these things because he's identifying himself with this body. So this is false identification. So anyone can do it. Just chant and hear. Now this is also very much important, that when you chant this mantra, so you just don't have to chant it mechanically. You should always try to chant it very attentively. And you should try to hear every mantra, every holy name of Lord. Every holy name of Lord is mantra. So one should always try that whenever we are chanting, see, if we are chanting while doing any house chores, that is another thing. I'm talking about when we are chanting on our beads. So when we chant on our beads, we should try to chant very attentively, very concentrated. Chanting out loud from our mouth and hearing from our ears. We don't have to chant this mantra in our mind. This is also very big problem. You know, I often hear this, that when we chant out loud, we feel so much tired. So chanting out loud doesn't mean you have to shout out loud. No, you just speak as much as you can hear. That much pace. You don't have to shout. So simply chant out loud like we talk. We are not shouting here. We are simply talking. So same way, you have to chant this mantra out loud, and you have to try it hear from your ears. Somehow or other, if one comes into contact with Krishna consciousness and executes the process under the guidance of a bona fide guide. Bona fide guide means disciplic succession. This is very much important. See, taking knowledge of scriptures in disciplic succession is very much important. Why? Because you will see that is only the pure knowledge. Others have adulteration. And that's why you will see that even after following scriptures, many people follow scriptures, no doubt, but they don't follow it in disciplic successions. They don't follow it under the guidance of a bona fide guide. And that's why they don't experience any transformations in their lives, because they are not following purity. You see now, any adulterated ingredient also, if we consume, just for example, refined oil, it is full of adulteration. There is no any purity in that. So you will get sick if you will consume that refined oil. So even that ingredient can, do this much harm to this body, to our body. Then what to say of knowledge? So this is very much important to take knowledge in disciplic succession. And yes, if one comes into contact with Krishna consciousness and executes the process under the guidance of a bona fide guide, he is sure to go back to God. There is no doubt. So there was a time when one devotee only, there was a person, he asked Srila Prabhupada that only by chanting 16 rounds and only by following these four regulative principles will we really go back to Godhead? So Srila Prabhupada got little bit furious. That what do you think? Am I fooling people here? Am I doing so much of hard work when I'm putting so much of efforts? Am I doing it for the sake of fooling people? So one should think that the pure devotees, the pure Vaishnavas, they have so much of, they have so much of tendency. Whatever they say, that is the real truth. And you yourself experience in your life now that whatever things, whatever instructions you are following in your practical life, are you not experiencing any transformations? Have you not even experienced little transformation in your life? It's not possible. We are about to complete our first book on the way to Krishna. So you are constantly attending the classes. What does that mean? You are experiencing transformations in your life. That's why you are, constantly following this process. So one should never doubt this process which we are following. This is pure because this is directly coming from our scriptures. And from where scriptures are coming? Directly from Krishna. So whatever we are studying here, it's the knowledge which is directly coming from Lord Krishna himself. And there is no changes, there is no adulteration in it. So this is very amazing thing which one should understand. Okay, moving forward. Now we have the shloka. We'll try to recite this. Okay, from tomorrow we'll do one thing. I will be sending these shlokas to you. Even by personally, I will be sending you personally or on group. You can practice these shlokas and then you can recite this in class by unmuting yourself. Like Prabhuji do. You see na, first Prabhuji recite, then Mataji recite. We can also do this. This is really amazing thing. But today we can do as we were doing before. Please try to recite with me. Bahunam janmanam ante. Okay, let me just take out the Hindi version of this because I'm kind of confused. Give me 1 minute. Let me just take this out. Because I know I will end up making mistake in pronunciation. Let me just take out. Okay. Let's recite. Bahunam janmanamante jnanvanam prapadyate vasudevah sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevah sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Bhagavad Gita 7.19. So see, one should understand this thing that whoever is on this great process, this Krishna consciousness, he has already made a huge payment in his past lives. Very huge payment. He has already suffered a lot in his past life. That's why God has given that person devotees. That's why God has given us this chance to serve Him. We have not got anything in free. We have made a huge payment of this. That's why we are following this process constantly. And that's why we have firm faith on scriptures, which is very rare. This is really not a small thing that we are, like this, we are discussing these books, we are chanting our 16 rounds, and whatever activities, whatever instructions told by our Guru Maharaj, we are following that. This is very rare. Interest in Krishna consciousness is extremely rare. So yes, and see, Krishna himself is telling this in Bhagavad Gita, that after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. So we have made a huge payment for understanding, for grabbing this knowledge. And that's why we are able to surrender unto Krishna. You see, this is natural. Some people, if we talk about devotees only, if you were told that, yeah, Krishna is Supreme Personality, even if you were not told about this thing at the very beginning, but then also when you heard about this thing later also, then you accepted it. There was no any problem in accepting it. Is it not? But there are many people, if you will try to preach them, they will not get convinced easily. They will keep doubting. How is that possible? Only one person is God. This is not possible. You're just speculating. We don't speculate. We are just repeating the words of scriptures, but people they just think like this. So see, from this, what are we getting? That if we are on this path, so that means Krishna has chosen us. And that's why we are on this path. Otherwise, there is no chance. And you can simply understand this by, watching to other people. You just see to them. Why is it very difficult for them to get convinced about this? I will tell you one more thing, that even if you are doubting, you still just follow this process. Now, one amazing thing I will tell you about this. Prabhuji was telling, I don't remember the name of that great devotee. But yeah, he was telling that he was following any other Guru Maharaj. And his Guru Maharaj only told him to read these books of Srila Prabhupada ji. And you know why was he reading books of Srila Prabhupada ji? For pointing mistakes. For pointing mistakes in the books of Srila Prabhupada ji. And he was telling that as I was reading the books of Srila Prabhupada ji, I was getting more convinced about Krishna consciousness. So see the greatness of the books of Srila Prabhupada ji. And you will see very amazing thing about these books, even these small books, that Srila Prabhupada ji is telling things straightforwardly. Srila Prabhupada ji is not, he's not turning around the things. He is telling all the things straightforwardly. So see the greatness of these books, literally. Anyone who will read these books, even if he is not getting convinced at that time, he will definitely get convinced in his future. Such a great soul is very rare. Now see, Krishna himself is appreciating his devotees. Krishna himself is appreciating such souls. And this is reality. Few days ago only, My camera was off. I was chanting in morning because there were no lights. So my camera was off. My video was off. I was chanting in morning japa. So I was just gazing at the devotees. I was just staring devotees, all the devotees who were chanting. And I was just, one thing was coming in my mind, that these souls are really very rare. That was my realization. And you know how that realization came? You will see when you follow this process, definitely you will desire to preach this knowledge to other people also. And now possibility is there that if you tell about this knowledge to other people, so it is not necessary that they will accept it. There people, Krishna sends different people to you, different mindsets of people. So it is not necessary that every person who is coming to you, he will get convinced. So yeah, there were some people. There was one Mataji. She was debating me on about this topic only. So yeah, this realization came in my mind that, see, these devotees who are chanting, unconditionally, they are not desiring anything in return. These souls are really very rare. This is just amazing. Philosophical research into the science of God has to be prosecuted for many births. God realization is very easy, but at the same time, it is very difficult. This is really amazing point. God realization is very easy, but at the same time, it is very difficult. How? You will see an individual who will accept the knowledge as it is. It will be very easy for him because he'll be following things without putting his illogical mind in it. He will be following things as it is. So it will be easy for him. As you can see, you all devotees, you're following everything very easily. You're not facing any difficulty. But it is difficult for those people who will, doubt, who will put their illogical mind in it. Oh, how is that possible? I don't think so. It is. I'm not sure whether it is right or wrong. They will keep speculating. So it is very difficult for them. It is easy for those who accept Krishna's word as truth. But those who try to understand through research work by dint of advancement of knowledge have to create their faith after finishing so much research work. And this process takes many births. Yes. So, are you able to follow this? Prabhupada ji is talking about scientists here. Scientists always want to research. They just keep on researching. We want to research. You just see now, we accept this thing as it is from our scriptures. Which thing? That the cow dung, it is pure. You see now, it is this much pure that one even use it in virtuous activities. Is it not? Cow dung. But if any scientist, if he think His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was explaining this thing, that suppose if any person, if he thinks that, oh, if the cow dung, the stool of a cow is this much pure, then what about, very intelligent man, a very intelligent Pandit, a Brahmana, His stool might be so much pure, more pure, much pure than the cow's stool. So see, it will be his foolishness. So one should understand this thing that we cannot always research something on some topic. We cannot do this always, that we research and then only we will understand things. We can't do that always. Intelligence is this, that whatever have been told in our scriptures, we follow it as it is. This will not only save our energy, but it will also save our time. But one who will, keep on researching, he's just wasting his time. And when he's wasting his time, his human life is also passing. He's getting elder. He is getting older and older, and then he will end up missing his chance of serving Lord. So we should understand this thing, that this human life which we have been gifted, every minute is so much precious. It is very much precious. So one should not waste his time in, researching things and all. So yes, it is very much easy for those who accept Krishna's word as truth, but those who try to understand through research work, by dint of advancement of knowledge, have to create their faith after finishing so much research work. And this process takes many births. So are you able to get this point? This process takes many births. So we discussed one point just now only, that we have already made a huge payment. And that's why we are following this process. So possibility is there that we might also have, wasted our time in researching things. So whatever it is, just understand this thing, that interest in Krishna consciousness is very rare. And now if we have got this opportunity to understand this knowledge, if we have got this opportunity to serve Krishna, so why not to give our full efforts? Why not to utilize our full potential of this human life? Srila Prabhupada ji himself says this thing, that you just give one life to Krishna. We have already wasted many lives. You just give one life to Krishna and you just see. And right now also you can experience it by yourself only, that you are experiencing so much calmness. Is it not? You might be observing this thing, that life is getting easier day by day. Devotees share their, transformations, their insights with me. I just feel very much happy by just hearing their transformations, their observations. So see how potential is this process. There are different types of transcendentalists called Tattvavid, who know the absolute truth. The transcendentalists call the absolute truth that in which there is no duality. In the absolute truth, there is no duality. Everything is on the same level. One who knows this in truth is called Tattvavid. These are called 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺𝗵𝗺. They just think that there is no duality. What does that mean? See, try to understand. 𝗵𝗵𝗺s, their understanding is that soul and supreme soul. They both are equal. They are on the same level. There is no duality. Now, isn't this just foolishness? You just think now, means what they want to justify that we are also supreme. We all are supreme. There is no difference. Then why are we not even able to solve our own problems? The followers of these 𝗵𝗵𝗧𝗶𝗵𝗵𝗺 should think about this thing now, that we don't want these miseries. We don't want to get sick. We don't want, to get chastised by someone. Then why are we suffering like this? They should raise these questions. That if we are supreme, if there is no duality, we are same as supreme, then why are we not even able to solve our own problems? So this is foolishness, hence proved. Okay, moving forward. Krishna proclaims that the absolute truth is known in three aspects. Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Impersonal. Sorry, it's not Brahman, it's Brahman. Brahm. N is silent. So yes, Brahm, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Impersonal Brahm effulgence, localized Supreme Soul and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So see, Brahma is the light of the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. That is the Brahma. Brahma Jyoti. Okay? Brahma Jyoti is the light of the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. Paramatma is Lord Krishna resides in our hearts as Paramatma. Okay? That is localized super soul. And Bhagwan is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. Thus, there are three angles from which one may envision the absolute truth. One may view a mountain from a great distance and thus perceive it from one angle of vision. So, let's just understand this example. We have more time, right? Yeah. Let's understand this. We will read this paragraph, then we'll stop. So let's understand this example. This is very interesting example. You will see if you are in a forest. Suppose you are in a forest. So, or just think, forest is far from you. Little far from you. You are standing and forest is little far from you. So now you may only see trees because forest is far from you. So you are only able to see the trees right now. Then now as you go closer to that forest, then you will be able to see the mountain in that forest. And same way, if you will go more closer, then you will be able to see birds, animals also roaming on that mountain. See, it's written here. One may view a mountain from a great distance. Okay, I've changed. I've made little variation. Let's understand with this example only. One may view a mountain from a great distance and thus perceive it from one angle of vision. So now suppose you are looking at a mountain. Okay. Now if you are seeing mountain is far from you, little far from you. So when you are seeing mountain, you will not be able to see trees or animals or plants, whatever. You're just looking at the mountain, simply mountain, structure of mountain. As he comes closer, he may see the trees and foliage of the mountain. You know, the environment of mountain and the trees. So as you will go closer, you will be able to see the trees of the mountain, on the mountain, and foliage, means the environment. And if he begins to climb the mountain, he will find so much variegatedness in trees, plants, and animals. Let me adjust this screen. Yes. So you will be able to see trees, plants, and animals. You will be able to see many variations, many varieties of different trees, plants, and animals. The objective is the same, but due to different angles of vision, sages have different conceptions of the absolute truth. So what we are understanding from this example, that objective is same. What is the objective? That one want to liberate, wants to get liberate from this cycle of birth and death. One want to get the love of Lord. So the objective is same, but due to different angles of vision, sages have different conceptions of the absolute truth. Another example, there is the sunshine, the sun disk, and the sun god. One who is in the sunshine cannot claim that he is on the sun itself. And one who is situated in the sun is, from the point of view of vision, better situated. The sunshine may be compared to the all-pervasive 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗺 effulgence. The localized sun disk may be compared to the localized aspect of the Supreme Soul. And the sun god who resides within the sun may be compared to the personality of Godhead. This is really very interesting example. This is practical example. When you were in your childhood, when you were a small kid, then you were aware about the sunshine. That sunshine is coming. As you get older, you become young, you come to know, oh, there is a sun who is giving the sunshine. And when you become more mature, you come to know, oh, that sun is not simply a sun. That sun is not simply a planet. In school, teacher taught us this thing only, that sun is a planet. It gives us sunshine. But as you get more mature, you come to know that sun is not simply a planet. Sun is a demigod or God, whatever. Sun is a God. God means demigod. Okay, one more point I want to clear here, that you might have heard this, that we often say Lord Shiva or God's son. We never say demigod Shiva or demigod son. So why? Why so? So same thing, I asked this with Prabhuji, and Prabhuji told me this thing, that because we often say like this because they have qualities of Krishna to an extent. And this is the only reason, we often say like this, Lord Shiva, God's son, whatever. Because they have some quality of Krishna to an extent. This is the only reason. But they are not independent from Krishna. So yes, Later we come to know that, yeah, that sun is God. People also worship sun god. So basically, these all things come to know with levels, different stages. Just like a child, he promotes in senior classes. Same way, first of all, one will be, one he will come to know about the Brahma Jyoti of Lord. He will meditate on Brahma Jyoti. Then as he will get mature, he will come to know, oh, there is Paramatma. Now I will meditate on Paramatma. Then as he will progress in his spiritual journey, then he will come to know, oh, Supreme Personality. There is a Supreme Personality. Now I will meditate on God. So see, this is a long process and it is very time consuming. But whoever is following scriptures, whoever accepts the knowledge of scriptures as it is, he is directly, instead of following this long process, he is directly serving Lord. So are you able to catch this point? Are you able to understand this thing? That instead of following a long process, because objective is same, but instead of following a long process, why not to save our time and why not to accept the knowledge of scriptures as it is and serve Lord directly? Because objective is the same. We will be serving Lord only. If one is not doing it now, he will have to do it later in his next birth or whatever, when he will be able to understand this thing. But why not to save our time and why not to serve Lord directly instead of following this long process? So this was really an interesting example. As on this Earth planet, we have a multi-variety of living entities. We can understand from Vedic literatures that in the sun also there is a variety of living entities, but their bodies are made of fire, just as ours are made of earth. Now this topic is something different. We will discuss this in detail in our next class. We will stop here now. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Bol. We will meet tomorrow if Krishna is willing. Hare Krishna.